What is up, Cinders? Welcome back to Chicken Cindy's. And today we're going to kind of discuss several different ways to upgrade and personalize your mountain bike. If this is your first time here, welcome. I am Joshua. And here on Chicken Cindy's, we just kind of talk about anything bike related. So this video is one I've kind of wanted to make for a while. I've kind of touched on it in like different videos and things like that. But for this one specifically, we're going to get into 5 very specific upgrades that you can do to your mountain bike. And I shouldn't necessarily say upgrades because not all of them will be upgrades, but some of these may just be more that are like aesthetically pleasing for you, or maybe you have a bike color that you like and you want a different color to go with it. So these are going to be just some different options and ways to really personalize your mountain bike more. So I'm really excited about this list. I hope you guys enjoy it, and let's just go ahead and get into it. And I will start with number 1. Number 1, I am going to tell you contact points, okay? Now, contact points are one of the upgrades that I always recommend you do first on a mountain bike. Why is this, you may ask? It's because contact points are very personally specific. By that, what I mean is what I may like, you may not like at all, especially when it comes to saddles, all right? Everybody's sit bones are different, but if we're going to be upgrading and or changing things such as grips, saddles, and pedals, why not have fun with it? By that, I mean, you can find all different kinds of pedals, all different kinds of grips, all different kinds of stems if you want to change that. Not 100% a contact point, but it does go pretty close in relation with what is going to be a form of contact point, okay? All the different brands between Ergon, Raceface, ODI, all of these brands have different styles of grips and pedals and saddles, okay? For me, I love Ergon saddles. I love ODI grips. And then typically for my actual pedals, I use DMR vaults. Now, I've just recently tried the Deity Blade Runners. I have those on my Giant currently. I've gotten a couple rides on them and absolutely am loving the Deity Blade Runners. I have been very, very impressed with. One thing you have to really watch out for when you're upgrading contact points though, is the fact that some of these parts can be expensive. A lot of people will look on Amazon and find Raceface Chesters for $50. Some people think that's too expensive and they'll get kind of like the Fuker brand is what it's called. And those are only around $20, $30 give or take, so you can save some money there. I am not going to tell you how much you should spend. I'm not going to tell you how you should spend your money, but I am going to say if you are willing to put money into anything on your bike, let it be contact points. And while you're doing that, let's have a lot of fun with the contact points in the sense of let's spruce up your colors. Let's, make a match, that kind of a situation. And if you decide with one specific brand, typically a lot of those colors will kind of match. Another benefit that you could potentially do is go to a local bike shop, see what they have in stock, match the colors there, that kind of a thing. So, and typically bikes will have some form of alternate color on it, whether it be like, a black frame and it has like little red specks on it or something like that. So maybe you should go with red parts. But number 1, as always, contact points. Such a great upgrade, such a great way to put money into a bike that's going to benefit you, just your ride comfortability, but it's very personal. So you may need to do some experimentation with that, but contact points. Number 2, I'm going to recommend getting some colored tubeless valve stems. Now, one of the very first upgrades most people do on mountain bikes is change their setup to tubeless. Some people love tubeless, some people hate tubeless. If you happen to be somebody who really likes tubeless, guess what you can do? Find some really colored tubeless valves. If you're gonna go ahead and take your tires off and turn your mountain bike into tubeless, or even your road bike, whatever kind of bike you have, you could always find some really cool stem valve colors. They have like these purple ones I got on Amazon, they were like 10 bucks. I've purchased a lot of budget stems, and I've never had any issues with them myself. Of course, for every good story, there's probably a bad story somewhere else down the road. But for me personally, I think if you are going to be switching your tires, changing it to tubeless, why not put on some fun valve stems? And most likely, if you are switching it to tubeless, you may not have tubeless valves, and these run about the same price as any other tubeless valve that you have. So if you're gonna go with some colors, maybe with the contact points, you can match that. Definitely get some cool colored tubeless valves. So Number 2, tubeless valves. For number 3, this is something I typically do to all of my bikes. It is something I love to do. It's very fun for me, but I typically order them from Slik Decals, okay? This is a very easy upgrade, maybe a little time consuming if you've never done it before, but not super bad. But Slik Decals has a ton of different style decals that you can get, make, and the ones I always get, I've never actually, well, I have once or twice paid for the shipping. I typically just do the free shipping option, and I've always gotten them in about a week and a half, 2 weeks tops. And the nice thing is, this isn't something that you need to necessarily get fast. These Slik Decals will literally replace the decals on your fork or even your rear suspension if you decide to change the color of your rear suspension decal. And I love that you can actually change the colors. You can do different colors, not just one purple like that. You have matte options, which I went with. You have gloss options as well. But what you typically do is you just go to the Slik's website, you type in what fork you have, you find the specific decal, you decide how you want it to look color-wise and things like that. They will make it for you in a couple days, they will send it to you, and then you just get it in your mailbox. A little tip that I have learned though over the years, because I've done quite a few of these, is I will take some actual painter's tape, and even though this has like a center line on it and that kind of a situation, if you got the appropriate one that matches the decal on your fork, it's pretty much identical. So I will take painter's tape and kind of mark out where the actual decal is before I take it off. So then all I have to do is put this new decal exactly where that painter's tape is, and then just put it on and get the air bubbles out, and it usually goes on really well. It's always stayed on very well. I mean, they're very nice quality, and what's really cool is they come with like little extra stickers so you can kind of put them on your fork somewhere else if you want to. But I constantly get compliments over my fork decals in that kind of a situation. I'm not sure what this extra little one is, so maybe they sent me some. Oh, cool. Just little if there's a problem kind of a situation, and then they send you the nice little alcohol wiper prep to clean off your fork stanchions, well, not your stanchions, but your lowers basically, to be able to get a nice clean surface to put the Slik decals on. This one cost me after tax. Is it on here? It's not. I'll put it right here what it cost me after tax though. But yeah, so number 3, Slik Decals. Very cool option if you want to change up the way your bike looks. Number 4 is gonna be a little debatable in my opinion, but it's something everyone should have on their bikes if they want to keep their bikes kind of nice and clean and in the condition they purchased, in the condition as it was when they purchased it. Some form of protective tape. Now, some protective tape is just clear. Some protective tape has cool designs. You could go online. Amazon sells a ton of them. This is the one I'm going to try now. I've never tried this one, but it's Wild. It has some pretty good reviews. An interesting thing or fact over this one is it's really just one giant sheet or one giant roll, but then it includes different kind of frame sizes to actually trace and cut out the different styles that you need. I think frame tape or frame protector is wonderful, especially if you have a bike that you're gonna be like putting on shuttles or on the back of the actual, your truck and things like that. Frame protector is just a great option. So for this one, it's kind of a cool, like digital camo style one, I guess is what I'd call it. I'm not 100% sure what the actual terminology is for it. The actual name for this one is geometric camouflage. I'm trying to do some picture-in-pictures for these. I'm probably not gonna have one for this one because I know this one's gonna take a little bit to install. But a lot of the reviews I was reading on this specific tape was very good. Some people were complaining about it being too thick. For the bike that this is going on, I kind of think the thicker the better because it's going to be kind of like my park bike, my downhill bike. It's kind of what I'm turning my Giant into, basically. So I think this is going to look really good on that. So I'm excited to install this and put it on. There are a lot of different brands that you can find on Amazon, and like I said, different designs and things like that. So definitely shop around before you decide on one specific one. Let me show you this one real quick. I usually have an extra one like this. This is just some frame guard. I think this is a matte one, and it literally has a little bottle on it. This is another one from Amazon. And you either just spray it, you put it on, you put like a couple drops of soap in this, squeegee it on, let it cure for like 24 hours, and you're good to go. And with the matte finish, it'll still show the actual bike color and that kind of stuff. So maybe you like your paint job and you don't want to do designs like I did with this one. So you still have a lot of options, and I love this little kit. Has a little razor blade and everything. It's literally one whole kit. but it's kind of similar to that one to where it's just a roll, so you have to kind of like cut it and shape it a little bit to fit your bike and frame and stuff like that. But you have tons of options for this. But I think since this video is more about customization and such, I don't really necessarily want to include that, but this is something to keep in mind if you like what your frame looks like. But if you just have a plain frame and you want to do some designs or something, you can look at all the different bikes. You have options for that too. There's pretty cool ones. So yeah, number 4, Friend Garden. So for number 5, you are going to have a lot of different options. This may be slightly niche, but I would probably say most mountain bikes nowadays come with dropper posts. So I'm gonna put a couple different pictures of different ones here and kind of explain why I'm specifically talking about what this is. So a lot of mountain bikes come with dropper posts and they have their dropper remote, okay? A lot of the remotes that are included with bikes just are not the best. I will say the one that's on the Giant that I have just recently purchased is actually not bad. Is it bearing driven like a lot of the ones I have just shown you? No, it does not have an actual bearing. Wolf Tooth makes a really nice remote that has kind of like a breakaway point to where like if it's broken, you just replace the little plastic part and put it back together. So that's pretty cool. PNW, absolutely love PNW Loam remote. It actually has a lifetime warranty, as most of PNW's parts do. And it has a wonderful just sealed cartridge bearing, and they're just really nice quality, just the aluminum finished, and I mean, they just feel terrific. Not everybody's bikes is gonna come with a dropper post, depending on how much money you've spent on your mountain bike and that kind of a thing. But one of the first upgrades I always really recommend on any form of mountain bike is purchasing a dropper post. Dropper posts are one of those things where like, if you don't know how they work or how to use them, then they're really not gonna do you any good. But the easiest way I can explain a dropper post to someone who's never ridden on a dropper post before is if you are pedaling or climbing up a hill, have the dropper post up. If you are coasting or going down anything, or if you're doing some jumps and things like that, you want the dropper post down and out of the way. It just saves you so much just time. And once you get like, I was gonna say time from like having to raise and drop your seat post or saddle if you're having to do that. But once you get used to using your dropper post, it becomes such a fluid motion. And the very first time I put a dropper post on my bike, it was just a game changer, absolute game changer. So for number 5, I'm specifically talking about the remote lever. They can go from budget $20, $30 ones on Amazon to nicer $50, $80 ones like the Wolf Tooth ones or such as the ones from PNW. Specifically talking about Wolf Tooth and PNW, I'll put them right here, because they come in cool colors, whether it be purple PNW, purple Wolf Tooth as well. There's a lot of different options you have to be able to match different colors. And now if we kind of circle back to the very first one, which was actually more of the contact points, one of the nice things about PNW is PNW sells grips, PNW sells pedals, and they also sell the dropper post remote. So if you're wanting to actually, again, try to keep all those colors the same, and as of right now, this video, I think PNW is doing like a cosmic sale where it's like 25% off of their items. No, not like affiliate links or anything like that for PNW. I just personally really like PNW's videos. I think they have great products. I love that they have a lifetime warranty. Over the 5-6 years I've been riding bikes, I've had just terrific luck and I guess just an experience with PNW. I've had an item break on me once, got a hold of them. They sent me another with no questions asked. I was just very impressed. Oh, they also sell handlebars that come in the colors too. So that's another thing you could potentially match as well. But yeah, most bikes come with dropper posts. If you want to just better actuating, better feeling remote, kind of like with the, as I mentioned, the contact points or even like the tubeless valves. If that's something you're wanting to upgrade, why not make it a cool color to go with whatever you're trying to do with your actual bike? So number 5, I would say would be the dropper post remote. A little bit of a different video, just kind of me chilling in the coupe and just kind of going over some fun upgrades or changes that you could potentially make to your bike to personalize your bike. One of my favorite things about mountain biking is the fact that you can get your bike and just customize it to be your own. Now, if you've been watching this channel for a long time, you see all the different bikes I've had and all the different colors, and I just have a lot of fun with it. I truly enjoy it. It takes me back to my childhood playing Need for Speed Underground. The very first one, Need for Speed Underground 2 was terrific as well, but the very first Need for Speed Underground, got it for Christmas. We had like 2 weeks of snow days and I remember just blasting through the game, and I just loved customizing the cars. I don't personally have the money to customize cars, but I have the money to customize my mountain bikes. So I have just such a fun time customizing my mountain bikes and making them my own. And it's even more fun like pulling up to the same bike and seeing what they've done compared to what I've done. So hopefully these 5 things are maybe things you've never thought of. Some of them are, maybe they're things you have done. If there's something else you'd like to do or upgrade on your bike, put it down in the comments. Let's help each other in the community. And that's one of my favorite things about the mountain bike community is we're just all trying to help each other and have fun. So if this is your first time here, as mentioned, thank you. I appreciate you coming and watching the video. If you wouldn't mind, I'd appreciate a thumbs up and maybe a follow or whatever you want to call it, or subscribing. We're almost to 6,000, which is absolutely mental to me. But thank you guys for all tuning in, and until next time, everybody take care.